Welcome, students. We hope that you are safe and well. We hope that you are enjoying your time at home. We know it comes with a lot of challenges and changes, but we still wanted to continue our Crosby Plus videos. So we're coming to you tonight. We're switching up the content. We originally were going to talk about what colleges are looking for in the admissions process and things that you can do and change now. But we're going to shift that up. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit about 5 tips that we hope will help you tackle all of the challenges that you might be presented with right now with at-home learning and being at home during the school day. So we just really first wanted just to say we are thankful for a tool like Crosby Plus to be able to continue to reach students and communicate. We are at home just like you all are, so we are working from our own houses, so that's why you see a couple different things. I am a Wake Forest graduate, so my basement is filled with lots of Wake Forest things, but we still wanted to be able to connect with you all. So without further ado, we want to share these 5 tips that will hopefully help every high school student be more successful in their at-home environment. So tip number 1, try to stick to a normal routine. If you have coursework where you're being offered assignments and it's self-pacing, do it during the school day, the typical school day. If you have classes that are a conference call and you're having to get on and actually be around the rest of your students, make sure that you are showing up to class. We had a call with the superintendent last week and we all learned that this coursework and the stuff that you are doing right now online will be a part of your grade. No matter how they're going to do the grading structure, which is all things that the school's deciding, it's still going to be evaluated and a part of your final semester. So be sure to be participating and engaging with this schoolwork. It is serious and it is actually going to be recorded and evaluated, so make sure that you're doing it. And so our tip is that you stick to a normal routine to make it a little bit more easier to manage, especially with that self-paced work. If you're waiting and you're taking time to do it later, all that stuff is going to build up because you still have all of the classes that you're taking and you're going to have assignments due at different times. So pace yourself by sticking to a regular school day. If you have math at a certain period, do that math work then. If you have reading following that, do reading then. Whatever your coursework is scheduled, we encourage you to follow that typical schedule. Tip number 2 goes right along with creating a schedule, and that is creating a specific space in wherever you are right now. If you're in a house, apartment, wherever, that you are creating a specific space to do your work. And we know that probably most students don't have a dedicated office to themselves, especially if you have parents at home that are working from home. If there's an office, they're probably using that space. But maybe it's a kitchen table. Maybe it's just a corner of a couch that's all yours. That's not your bed. That's our biggest recommendation. That's the space that you do work. That will hopefully allow the rest of your home to still remain that cozy home that it is, where you can relax after that schoolwork is done during that day, but that you have a space to do that. If you do have a conference call, let's say you're using Zoom as a part of your classes and your teachers are still requiring you to get on video and be present in class, try to be in a space with limited distractions. Not always possible, especially if you have other siblings and pets and other people at the house, but try to create an environment where you really are just in class during that class period, and that you have an environment where that schoolwork is happening. The biggest recommendation of that tip is don't do the schoolwork in your bed. If you do that, you're more likely going to fall asleep and do less work and just get a lot less done. And these are all tips that from our office, from people who have had online classes before, who now are working remotely, all things that we're having to learn and do ourselves. Tip number 3 is get on a FaceTime, get on a Skype call with your peers and connect with individuals, with your classmates, with your friends outside of a text message. It's really easy to just send a text, and we hope that you are communicating with your friends on a regular basis just to check in, especially in this social distancing time. But do more than just a text message. Go give them a call. Do the Skype face-to-face so you can really feel like you are seeing your friends and you're seeing the people that you want to connect with. That is something that is going to really kind of help and boost your morale. We are a social people. We are a social society. And so we thrive off interacting with other students and other friends. So be sure you're still connecting with all of those individuals. Ask for help when you need it. If you need assistance with schoolwork, if you need something just about mental issues or just anxieties and stress with the current schedule and the current environment that you're working in. If you need help with any of the online technology tools, if you need assistance with accessing the things that your teachers are asking you to access, reach out to people that you frequently would reach out to. I would recommend starting with individuals that on a frequent basis, like on a typical school day, who did you interact with? Reach out to those people if you need that help. They're all working remotely to allow school to continue. Their jobs are taking place just in a different way. You can absolutely always contact Crosby Scholars. We're not in the office, but we are accessible via email, and phone calls can end up in our emails, and you can text us. We want to make sure that we're providing the resources that you need, but ask for help if you need it. If it's a personal need that's not being met at home, make sure that you're reaching out to the right people to ask that. Check our website for frequently updated information. We just want to provide a space for a lot of links from the school system, from any of the services in the community that you or your family may need. We want to connect you to those resources. So be checking that information so that way you can always stay connected to meeting the needs that you have right now in this online at-home environment. And tip number 5 is my favorite, and that is get outside. Do something outside of the space that you're in all day. So we're asking you to create an environment where you're taking those classes, and that might be on the one corner of the couch, and it might be cozy when you're trying to relax, but when you're having to do all of that schoolwork, it gets not so much cozy, and you just kind of feel like you're stuck inside. Thankfully, it is officially spring. As of March 19th, it is spring. And so the weather is starting to turn, and we might have some rain, and we might have some not so warm days, but for the most part, the weather has been pretty decent. So get outside, go for a walk, grab some chalk, draw on the sidewalk, do something that's just going to get you out of the space that you've been in. We want to continue that social distancing and whatever that looks like for you, but I hope that the goal is that you're staying at home with the people in your environment and to keep this whole community safe. But that doesn't mean you can't get outside and you can't just enjoy the nice weather and get a break from inside that house. That will be another way to really boost the morale of just staying in this online environment. And then a couple of housekeeping things that I have for you all for Crosby Scholars. The first thing, be sure to check out our website. So I said that a couple times already. We're going to have a lot of feature box on the homepage of the website that you can access and you can use as a resource. Be sure to check that out. Tip number 2, go to school. You do have to do the work that they're asking, just because this is a different environment, and just because it's certainly challenging, because if you've never done an online class before, it's different. It's very different, but this is going to be a part of your spring semester grade, no matter how they do it. If they're going to do it pass, fail, if they're going to do it with grades, whatever it's going to look like, be sure that you are going to class and showing up. We've heard that from the school system, that it's really important that you are getting engaged. If you have any computer issues, if you have Wi-Fi issues, if you need any of those resources, the school system has all of that to provide to you. If you need help accessing that, certainly reach out to us or contact your school and your counselors and your teachers. They'll be able to connect you to the resources that you need. And then the final thing of a housekeeping thing, if you are one of the students that did not complete your community service form on March 11th, we are still accepting those forms. We know that it looks very different right now, that you're not able to just walk out your door and show up to an agency and volunteer. But stay tuned from several emails from our office instructing you on what things you can participate in. A lot of those are letter campaigns. So writing a letter to a nursing home, writing letters to veterans and active duty members. There's all sorts of things that you can still do to volunteer at home. So this thing called virtual volunteerism. And we want to provide those resources to you if you haven't completed that community service form. But we are extending that deadline because we know the constraints that this time and the challenges of being at home will provide. So we hope that you are doing well. We hope that you are safe. We hope that you reach out to us if you have any questions or you have any needs. And we hope that you learn and continue doing that schoolwork. And we'll see you again on our next Crosby Plus.